Hey guys, back at you with day 14 of the Rosa 2 build diary. Just going to do a quick map showcase while I talk about some stuff. Make sure we've got all the compasses in. Done that before where we've brought a new batch and then not had the compasses in. Yeah, so this is just what I've been continuing to do, just cube in profound, endlessly. Had some hits, had some misses, got a couple of expensive corners, and we've got a couple of divinity slates just waiting to be sold at the minute. Around the 1000 FE to 1300 FE mark, so we're just waiting for them to sell so we can actually pull ahead. Yeah, Cube has been taking rather than giving today, so yeah, not really made too much profit, but still had a sizable DPS increase, some improvements on the build. Um, yeah, you will see that soon. So I was actually thinking this I hadn't mentioned. The build showcase kind of looks similar most times because as I'm adding more compasses, even though my damage is like going up and multiplying, I'm adding more compasses and it's increasing the HP on the mobs. So if you think, well, why does this look like the same DPS in Profound as a few days ago? That is most likely why. So it's something I hadn't mentioned. I suppose I'll do a quick shill of the Discord too. If you have issues with your build, if you're playing Rosa 2, we are talking about it in Discord, and we're problem solving and we're troubleshooting, and yeah, quite a few helpful people in there. So if you have issues with your build, um, or you just want to chat about Torchlight, then jump into Discord and get chatting with people. Um, we'll be doing the same for PoE 1 as well, sort of this build diary sort of style series. And yeah, we'll do the same there. And a little deaf there because we didn't have mana. That's happened a couple of times where you come out of the league mech, and there was an attack queued up before it, and it just goes off and kills me. But yeah, is what it is. Said a couple of vids ago, we're not like concentrating on leveling right now. Um, something I might be looking at though is starting to level again, but that'll be over this weekend. Sort of got like a couple of days now where I can just sit here and farm, and this will be the last like real farming session we do for the season, because it looks like I'm wrapping up the season probably on Wednesday, and I'll probably have one day off to look at like all my PoE build stuff for the upcoming season. So first cube in a batch is nearly always a bad one, and you can see we are just not hitting it here. Nice thing about the good cube compasses is all the bubblegum currency is doubled, so that sort of offsets the cost a little bit over time. Right, so a bit of a longer map showcase, which is good because there's not really that many changes to talk about since yesterday. We'll do a quick DPS check, so you can see the DPS has gone up, or well, should have, because I checked it just before this and it did go up. So you can see here we are hitting now the just over 3 trill mark, and yeah, sort of sustaining at like 2.8, 2.6 on the 5-second check. Peak was 3.2, so quite happy to call that 3 trill. Yeah, and I'll go over why. So what I've been doing mainly is rolling these hero memories. Base is not perfect, obviously, but sort of thought it was going to be quite short on time this league because the PoE 1 league, so we didn't go crazy on. We skipped a lot of bases like on gear and on these memories. So um, yeah, that's why these are not maxed. But this is what I'm rolling at the minute, trying to get attack speed and max mana on every single one of these hero memories. We have been getting absolutely screwed on RNG. I've seen so many tier zeros and tier ones across both of those memories that still need mana and attack speed, and it's just not happening at all. So we were pumping currency into that. Now, what happened when I was doing some ultimate tier rolling on chest is we actually hit tier 1, you can cast one additional curse, which I think is better. So I looked at it. I was at 100 and I think I was at the exact amount of damage taken from Mana Before Life that I could put on another slate and cover it. So I chose to actually keep this +1 additional curses, and I changed this slate. So I went and got damage taken from Mana Before Life here, and then we just rolled attack speed and mana. We haven't like gone crazy on these rolls, but that's how we are now supporting the +1 curse, which we are choosing to do timid at the minute. So the reason why I've changed Bull's Rage out for timid is because it's about a 10% DPS increase. I think Bull's Rage was like 30% with no effect from Well Fought Battle, like active, and timid is like 40%. So at the minute, we are using 2 curses actually on our skill bar. Now, eventually, and what I'm actually concentrating on and pumping as much currency as I possibly can into, is getting on this ring Cold Bite or whatever the cold curse is called, and or timid. I want one of those on this ring, and then we can have Bull's Rage and the second curse. So that'll be a big DPS increase. So that's what I'm like focusing on now. As you can see, we are broke as a joke. We are hoping Cube pays off. I always make sure I pay off the next batch worth of compasses and beacons before I make any upgrades to the build. So we're just skimming off the top of our profit basically, and yeah, kind of hoping to hit it big over the weekend on Cube, and we can just finally start looking at completing some of the upgrades on this build, getting closer and closer towards that damage cap, and yeah, just really popping off basically, and then we'll have a few days to work on our end of season goals. I The other rolls I changed was the only other one was I rolled tier 1 attack speed on boots, and we are sort of looking at going to 30 attacks per second too. That's the next priority. So priority is getting that second curse on ring, and then attack speed mana on all of our hero memories, and that should get us close to 30% attacks per second. Or sorry, 30 attacks per second. So that's like the priority and what we're moving towards right now. The other thing I changed was in talents. So like I said yesterday, when I was spec'd into these, I checked again. It wasn't actually a DPS increase, keeping them over this. So I came out of these and I put it into this, and I think I put the spare one here maybe. So that's what I done with the talents. Came out of the skill area and the proj speed. Okay, so gonna quickly talk about season goals. So in here, or sorry, in here, there's an icon for hitting 100, and I'm kind of a sucker for stuff like this. So looking at hitting level 100 might be on the cards, but I think personally for me, I'm gonna need more damage, which means I can change some skills and go into a more defensive sort of aspect of the build, like with defensive barrier and maybe even Anthem to help with the XP gain on Pack Spirits. And probably going to need more revival tokens. I have been saving up my Jagged Primo Cris so we can buy some if we need to. We can get some from standard from the trader, which I left as a tip before. So level 100 might be on the cards, but the big one is SS20, which you can see we are currently at. We're currently on 17. Judge didn't. I went to judge about 2 trill DPS. Looked kind of easy, I think. So that should be a quite free one. And then we've got 3 more boss fights after that. If we can get them done, I would be so happy because then that gets me another cube pet, and that's just going to make next season a lot more fun, right? So they're sort of like the season goals. One other thing I will quickly mention too, as I've said, I think the Wednesday coming up is going to be my last day on Torchlight. Will be the last video. on the Thursday, I will spend some time to put together a full sort of mana stack and FAQ, just all the problems people have had, and I'll put that into one video. So that's the plan. That's the upcoming plans before the PoE season. Okay, that was day 14. Catch you tomorrow for day 15, and yeah, hopefully we hit that dream affix finally umbering.